All right. Noting that it is 6:31, I will call this meeting of the Public Safety Committee to order. I don't even know what we're doing first. First item on the agenda is public appearances of non-agenda items. We have people here who look like they're here for things on the agenda, so we will move on to the consent agenda, which is approval of minutes and routine operators licenses.
I'll move approval of the consent agenda, which include routine operators licenses of 14 new, I believe, is what is in there, 14 new licenses.
Yeah, there were a lot of them.
Second.
All right, motion's been made. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Motion carries. We'll move on to the review of license applications with sound permits. First one is Quivy's Grove, which is a recurring event we've had many times. And there's a voice. At 6261 Nesbitt Road, Fitchburg, Wisconsin, for various outdoor special events that they'll be having beginning May 29th and going through October 31st. Because it's a recurring event, they aren't here, but they always do good events. So
I'll move approval, Jimmy.
motion's been made to approve. Any discussion?
Second.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is Benvenuto's with the recurring event for Tunes on Tuesday to be held at 2949 Treverton Pike Drive, Fitchburg, Wisconsin on Tuesdays starting June 4th and going through September 10th from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. with amplified sound.
I move approval for the Benvenuto's recurring event.
All right, motion's been made. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is item C, Cicada, I guess, birthday party, which is a new event. Who is here for this? Christina. Christina's up there.
I think
Come and visit us, Christina.
I think she has a translator.
Oh,
Elizabeth is our
Hi.
translator.
Gotcha. Yeah, I joined the.
Apagó su micrófono, Lisette.
Sí, te puedo oír. I'm going to translate for Cristina during today's meeting.
okay, so this is for a birthday party at 2460 High Ridge Trail at Tower Hill Park. Actually, Christina lives at 2460 High Ridge Trail. The birthday party is at Tower Hill Park, 5610 Sherrill Drive in Fitchburg on June 2nd, so coming up this weekend. From 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. with amplified sound. How about a motion?
I'll move approval.
Motion's been made. Any discussion? It doesn't look like we have any. How many people are we expecting at this party?
Cristina, ¿cuánta gente piensas que va a ir a la fiesta?
Liz, if you're talking, you're muted. It looks like you're trying to say something.
No, Liz just asked.
No. Oh, okay.
Liz just translated how many people are going to be at the party. And she's waiting for
Yes.
Christina to respond.
Oh.
Christina may be talking, but she's muted.
Somebody talk.
Cristina, ¿cuánta gente piensas que irá a la fiesta?
Zoom host can ask Christina to unmute.
Liz, can you ask Christina to unmute if she's trying to say something? She's on mute.
Cristina, si habías contestado, no te puedo oír.
Well,
Son de 60 a 70 personas.
60 to 70 people will be in attendance.
excellent. Okay. And it looks like it's just, is it a Bluetooth speaker or some kind of more elaborate? It says there's a DJ.
¿Consiguieron un DJ para el evento?
Oh, sí, lo que pasa que es una fiesta infantil, o sea, más que todo es para niños y así, pero siempre se necesita sonido y todo, entonces yo quiero hacer las cosas bien, no quiero que me vayan a poner una multa o algo por el estilo, entonces por eso saqué todos los permisos necesarios.
Cristina says this is a toddler's birthday where they did hire a DJ for the event.
Okay, groovy. So it says they're planning to be done by 6 p.m., so that should probably be okay. Just note that it is right in smack dab in the middle of a residential neighborhood, so try to be respectful of the neighbors. Any other discussion on this?
Cristina, ¿tiene usted más pregunta para la ciudad Fitchburg?
Oh, una de las preguntas es, por ejemplo, con lo de la basura. ¿La tengo que dejar ahí o yo tengo que recoger mi propia basura y traerla a algún contenedor de basura que yo tenga?
Yo hablo poquita. yo entiendo poquita.
Her question is regarding garbage. Is there an area where garbage can be dumped there, or would she have to remove all garbage from the location and get rid of it herself elsewhere?
I believe they pick it up there.
Yeah, the park should have a garbage can, but sometimes they get full, so I have a couple of bags as backup.
Normalmente puedes dejar la basura ahí, pero en caso que se llene el bote, recomiende que traigas varias bolsas para llevártelo a otro sitio. Y también dice que el tener DJ está bien con saber que el límite se termina a las 6 y que tengan respeto a los vecinos alrededor.
Oh, sí, y pedí también un permiso de licor, pero no es que vayamos a consumir todo el licor, sino que simplemente es porque siempre hay algunas personas que toman un poquito o algo así, pero no es que vaya a ser una fiesta así, con mucho licor.
Cristina is mentioning that she also requested a liquor permit for the evening. I don't know if that'll be discussed later.
Do you have an
I
application?
do not know, there's been no application for temporary Class B picnic license. She wouldn't qualify for one to have liquor there anyway. It would have to be a, some type of a group, organization, fair facility, so she would not qualify for a temporary Class B picnic license at this event.
That would typically be if you were going to sell things, though. If you just have people showing up in the park with a cooler.
Right, if it's not open to the public and it's by invite only, Laura, I would encourage you to have Christina reach out to Scott Endel in our Parks Department. And I will also touch base with him in the morning to reach out to Christina regarding not only the garbage concerns at the park, but alcohol consumption in the park as well.
But we should make it.
Thank you.
We should just make a special note, since this conversation has come up, that we do not allow glass containers in the park. So if they're bringing aluminum cans or something like that, that's fine, but no glass bottles, no wine bottles, nothing like that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Yeah, Dave did it. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Gracias, Elizabeth.
So next we
Thank you very much.
Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, the Wisconsin chapter located at 17100 West Blue Mound Road in Brookfield, for their Take Steps fundraising walk to be held at McKee Farms Park, 2930 Chapel Valley Road, Fitchburg, on Saturday, June 8th, 2024, from 8 a.m. until 12 p.m. with amplified sound. This is a recurring event which I have attended, and it's always been pretty good. So, we could use a motion.
I move that we approve Crohn's and Colitis Foundation Wisconsin chapter recurring event.
All right, motion's been made. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll move on to Barnes Incorporated, which is also a recurring event for Barnes Incorporated, located at 6433 Nesbitt Road. It is their Barnes Share Reveal event that will be at the McGaw Park Shelter, 5236 Lacey Road, on June 25th from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. with amplified sound. I guess they've requested a rain date of June 26th.
I'll move approval of the Barnes event.
Motion's been made to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the Excess Company recurring event. They are located at 9901 Silicon Prairie Parkway in Verona, and they're having their company picnic and anniversary celebration to be held at McKee Farms Park, 2930 Chapel Valley Road, Fitchburg, Saturday, July 13th, from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. with amplified sound.
I move to approve Access Company recurring event.
All right, motions are made to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we've got a new event, which is probably just a one-time event. Hopefully one-time event, the Geenan graduation party. Susie Geenan, 2575 Petersburg Circle, Fitchburg, for a graduation party to be held at Eagle Jamestown Park, 5810 Williamsburg Way in Fitchburg from Friday, June 14th, from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. with amplified sound.
I'll move approval of the Geenan graduation party.
Motion's been made. Susie, would you like to speak to us and tell us about your event?
Well, I mean, it may technically be one for right now, but I have two more kids. Whether or not they have the graduation party there will be yet to be seen. But yeah, we're just having a graduation party for my son at the park instead of our home.
All right, looks like you're expecting about 75 people.
Correct.
And by portable sound system, do you mean like a Bluetooth speaker or something to that effect?
I didn't really go into depth about how. I mean, I'm not assuming it'll probably be a little bit larger than a portable speaker.
Okay.
I mean, a DJ would be cool, but I think I'm a little late to the game to that. But yeah, just kind of a little bit of a larger speaker to play sound, but it won't be anything super crazy because there's going to be people there talking and enjoying each other.
Groovy.
Susie, I would just ask Dave Herbst here, it goes till 10, start tapering it off a little before. Some of the common neighbors around the park, these go a little too long, they get a little crotchety, so just start tapering it down a little before 10, if you wouldn't mind, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, the application actually says to include the setup and teardown time. So we're not anticipating that we're playing music that whole time. That just includes setup and teardown for the request of the application.
Fair enough, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, of course.
Any other discussion on this item? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Could I just add that Susie Lara and Christina, we will be sending out your permits in the mail, so you do not need to continue to Zoom. You're more than welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but your events have been approved and we'll send them out in the mail to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on our agenda is the River Food Pantry new event. This is happening, the river is located at 2201 Darwin Road. This is going to be for the Southdale Night Out to be held at Southdale Park, 160 Deer Valley Road, Fitchburg, Thursday, June 13th from 3 p.m. till 8 p.m., which is an event I'm really looking forward to. So, let's get a motion.
So moved.
Is Brandon here for this, or is he here for something else?
He is here for concerts at McKee.
So do we have anyone here for
They were
this?
invited to attend.
Jay, I know the former, he's no longer the director, but I know the former director of the River.
Yeah,
And wonderful organization, and I have I'm very proud and happy that they are having this event.
yeah, they actually, I've been involved in an email conversation that's been going on since last October, I think, when they first started talking about this. So I think it's going to be a good event. So I'm sure that it'll be okay. So we have a motion on the floor. Any other discussion about this? It looks like they're going to be done around 8 o'clock, so it's probably not going to create any sound issues. All right. Seeing no other discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we move on to the Eid celebration again, because they had just had an event and they're having another one. So that is with the Ibrahim Saeed of Islamic Center of Madison, 21 Orchard Street, for their Eid celebration to be held at McGaw Park, 5236 Lacey Road, Fitchburg, on Sunday, June 23rd, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We could use a motion.
I'll move approval.
Motion's been made. Any discussion? This event, they did with this, what, like 2 months ago?
Yes, and he did come back to meet with staff to kind of go over the second event. Nobody had any issues. And I did ask the question, is it always going to be a 2-time event for a year? And he said yes, it was based on the moon. So
The
This
one
will
that
be-
we can't see because it's cloudy.
So the time will always be different, but it'll always
I
be
see.
2 times, so.
Yeah, and I got, Patrick had sent me an email and said that they cleaned up everything nicely and were very peaceful, so that's good. All right, any other discussion on this event? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll move to the following license applications. We have Concerts at McKee, which is also a recurring event sponsored by the Fitchburg Chamber Visitor and Business Bureau, 5500 East Sherrill Parkway, for Concerts at McKee to be held at McKee Farms Park, 2930 Chapel Valley Road. They'll have 3 of them on Monday, June 17th, Monday, July 15th, and Monday, August 19th, and those will run from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. with amplified sound.
Move approval.
Motion's been made. Any discussion on this event? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the approval of temporary Class B picnic license, beer and wine, and all temporary operators licenses for Concerts at McKee.
I'll move approval. I don't know if I like those 2 operators though. They seem a
Well-
little shady to me.
We have a lot of people. You just sometimes you just have to have faith. So yes, so there's 3 there's 3 applicants, and so with that, we will. Any discussion on this?
Brandon is here if you have any questions.
Oh, Brandon's here. That's what he's here for.
Yep.
Okay. Any discussion, questions, issues? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll move on to an
Thank you,
operator's
Brandon.
license requiring special attention for Keyshawn Webster.
Thank you.
Why don't you come up to the table here?
Come on up, Keyshawn, have a seat.
So,
Thank you for coming.
No problem. I appreciate you for having me.
I forgot. I looked through this last week and I've been having a crazy weekend, so I forgot what this was about. Can you fill us in, Tracy?
Certainly. So Keyshawn was asked to attend based on a cautionary approval from a PD background check regarding guideline number 2. If you want, I can certainly read that into the record.
Well, I see that here, but it doesn't say what the thing is.
So
What happened? Please tell us.
So when I was doing the little application for the liquor license, it said to list any felonies that I had. So to my knowledge, I only have one. So that's the one that I listed. I say probably a month or two later, my manager had pulled me to the side and said that upon a background check that another one was found. And I have no recollection of having another felony on my record. So they said that because I didn't put both felonies on the application that it got denied, but I'm not aware of a second one, so.
So, do we know when they were, Tracy?
Don't have those dates.
Because there's not much in the packet
They were
about
within
this.
the last 10 years. Let's see if I can find something here on this application.
I know I've asked about this before, but I really wish that we would actually have information in the packet about these things.
I think did they give you an opportunity to come in and amend your application to add anything?
No, this was the only thing that was brought to my attention.
Yeah, it looks like there was a letter. It looks like Ruth sent an email. But it doesn't say what actually, it says City of Fitchburg Guideline 2, and then it quotes the text of
Correct. So I
Guideline 2, but there's no explanation as
I think the
to.
cautionary approval is more based on what the felony was for and not on an additional felony.
Right, but I guess my question, which I brought up previously, and I'm hoping we can get, is why don't we have that information of what the felony was, when it happened? Why is that not included in here?
We can certainly add that.
Yeah, that would be just the most amazing thing in the world if we could.
So what were we supposed to have Keyshawn explain this evening then?
Well, I mean, I would like to know what the actual incident was.
What is it, 2024? So I say like 2 years ago, almost, 2 years ago. I was riding with a friend, and I had ample amount of marijuana on me. We got pulled over, and I was charged with intent to deliver. And so that's a felony, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, they marked sale or possession of drugs of any kind, and that said yes. That was the one you put on the application?
Yeah, that's the only one.
What's the one you don't know about?
I don't know about
You.
What is the event though, like that you wanted to?
Well, this is to get a job.
Oh, to get a job.
It was in 2022.
Yeah, so 2 years ago. I'm on probation now, which is actually, I'll be finishing that up in the next 3 months, so.
That's the current, that's the.
One that I have on file, yes, so.
So the other one, we don't know when that was.
Was there an OWI charge in the last 2 years, and they're asking for a completion of alcohol assessment program?
Well, it looks like that was done in March.
No,
Oh,
that's
oh, no, he signed
that's
it
the
in March.
responsible servers course.
Okay. All right. So you're asking about if it was an OWI, or you don't know what the other charge was?
I don't know, there's nothing on here.
Well, let's get a motion on the floor.
I'll move approval of the license for discussion's sake.
Yeah.
Keisha, I'd like to ask, I guess ask to answer, will your past problems cause you a difficulty doing your job now of selling alcohol?
No.
We don't.
Yeah, no,
Last thing I want to do is put you back in harm's way.
Yeah, no,
I understand that. I'm not passing judgment, but I'll make sure I'm not, I appreciate anyone that wants to work. Believe me, that's my highest priority, but I don't want to put you in a position where you are going to be, hurting yourself, or, we take this pretty seriously, our charge to protect public safety. So I hope you understand that, why I asked such a frank question.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have came if I wasn't serious about it.
What are the, if you don't mind, what are the conditions of your probation regarding alcohol or drug use?
I'm not sure about alcohol. I just can't use any drugs until October. But I haven't actually drank alcohol in like the past 6 months, because I just don't like the way it makes me feel.
Oh, Jay, you have
Well,
any questions?
Just looking here. So we've got. So there are 2 felonies on here. One of them says January 19th, 2022. Let's see what that is.
Yep, that's the one that he.
That's what he just did.
Yep.
Possession with intent, THC, possession of drug paraphernalia. All right, so then it says there's another one of January 13th, 2023. And that says resisting or obstructing an officer. Well, that's a misdemeanor. Why is it listed as a felony? It must have, do you recall that incident? That was 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago. Oh, the felony was the bail jumping, so that looks like that got dismissed. And so it was the resisting or obstructing an officer.
What's the job you doing now?
A gas station. I'm a gas station clerk.
It looks like, so this, oh, you were in Huber for 30 days? Well, maybe it's a different Keyshawn Webster. That could be. No, this is the address you had, 6229 Sandstone? All right, well, have you, where were you working? Where are you working now?
Kelly's Market.
Kelly's, okay.
2950.
And you've started working there already?
Yeah, this just that came up, so I haven't really been able to work as much because they don't want me to sell liquor or tobacco without a license. So.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I don't know. There's just not enough information here, so. But we really need to have the police department give us the right information. But if you said they were conditionally approving it, or
They don't ever want to deny anything. That's that's, the board's decision, but it's a cautionary approval based on
All right,
the
well,
guideline violation.
let's go with that. So, or at least that's how I'll vote on it. Any other discussion on this?
I would just offer, this is the same advice I can give, we have this feeling. Don't make us regret this decision. We want the best for you, family, and one success for you, one step at a time. So, follow through, and we want the best for you.
I appreciate it for sure.
All right, any other discussion on this item? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks for coming.
No problem. Thank you again for having me.
All right,
We'll send that to the mobile part for you.
Okay, thank you.
now we'll get the fire department involved in things. Oh no, this is the revised building for the police services. We don't have anyone from police here?
Someone's here to speak on that.
I know, I just was looking to see if we had a department person here, but I don't see anybody, so. All right, well, let's, Ari wants to speak, so please come up and speak.
We have a motion first.
We can, sure, why not?
So moved.
Motion's been made.
Hey, thank you for having me. All right, hi, my name is Ari, and I'm a resident of Fitchburg near the Leopold neighborhood. I also have a certificate from UW-Madison in criminal justice, among many other things. While the city promised to pay for a new police facility, we should not agree to pay more than the $35 million that we've already pledged for it. $35 million should be all-inclusive, and since this building will be an energy hog and open 24/7, 365, solar panels should be included. The proposal that includes any green features costs $39.5 million, and even without any green features, the current proposal is $20,000 over budget. Some of my reasons for recommending we keep costs to $35 million include: the proposed facility will further current rifts between residents from our priority neighborhoods and the police department. Historically, we've seen that funding police facilities increases arrests, and the way the project has been publicly presented as an all-or-nothing proposal is problematic. Spending this amount of money on a police facility is not helpful towards healing any community relationships with the police department. As a woman at the information session on February 8th, 2024 at Leopold Elementary School eloquently put it, "We given you all this money to build a building so y'all won't have to work in y'all's cars. At least y'all have a car to work in. Some people don't have a house to live in or a car to sleep in." See YouTube video at time 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 20 seconds. I also find it problematic that during a public presentation about this new building, when I asked what a building would look like if the city spent only $35 million on it, the police chief told me that I am defunding the police. See public information session, November 27th, 2023 at 45 minutes. This is unhelpful rhetoric meant to shut down a discussion and politicize a civil discourse on budgeting. Finally, U.S. history shows that when you put money into the police, you see a boom in incarceration, especially of Black people. This is a particular problem in Fitchburg because WIDRS data confirms that although Fitchburg's population has a racial split of 65% white people and 13% Black people, arrests are made of 42% white and 54% Black Fitchburgians. These problems will not be solved by constructing a beautiful building for the police department. These problems will also not be solved by better training for police officers, since we are all fish in water with the systemic racism in our society. We promised the police department that we would fund their building up to $35 million, and that's important to honor our promises. But expanding the project's budget is not going to help heal our community. History agrees that it's a bad use of funds, and the public discussions so far have been aimed to shut down alternate opinions instead of hearing them. Instead of bolstering our systems that punish and incarcerate our citizens, let's bolster housing security projects, food security programs, preschools, and after-school programs that support empathy and root cause analyses. Let's keep this project, including renewable energy options, to $35 million. I'm sure the police can find a way to remove $20,000 from their proposal at an absolute least. Please vote no on additional funding.
All right. Thanks for that. Any other discussion?
Keeping my motion. I want to say something.
I'm a little disappointed that the police department didn't bother to show up for this meeting.
They were at Board of Public Works. Went through what the changes were to get to the 35 million. And they also pointed out that the building will be essentially full on day one. We had hoped to never deal with this building again, and that won't be the case.
Yeah, I had heard something to that effect. Well, I'm gonna have a hard time voting in favor of this right now, just because I didn't like the way the public outreach was done before, and now there's been no public outreach done as a result of where we are tonight. And I can only think of the buildings that I was on the council for previously. This one we're sitting in tonight, the one down the hill, where there was quite a lot of public outreach to get both of these buildings done. And I wish that there was more of an effort to make that happen. So I don't necessarily want to vote no on it right now, but I would like to just send this to the council with no recommendation.
And call the vote, please.
All right. Then the current motion on the floor is, you made the motion to approve, right, Dave?
I believe so.
So
I think Donald did.
Someone did. So the current motion on the floor is to approve the resolution as drafted. So, all in favor of resolution R9904, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion fails. So, with that, I think it just goes to the council, and we aren't going to have a recommendation.
Board of Public Works approved.
Okay.
So, you know.
All right. The next item, I'm going to ask us to table this because I didn't have enough time to read through this at all, and it looks like we're just changing this one thing.
Yeah, it was just kind of clean up, basically.
Hey, Bravo. There's only a couple sentences.
Yeah, and
There's things that apparently you don't do.
No, and I get that we don't do those things, but I think because I didn't know this was coming, and I'm the chair of the committee, so there should have been some discussion. Was there any discussion with you, Dave, before this got drafted?
No, there wasn't.
So I think I'd just like to look over it a little bit more and see if there's, I just want to table it until the next meeting or postpone it until the next meeting. So I'd like to have a chance to go through it a little bit more and see if there's other things we should be listing in here and that kind of thing. So I would ask, I would ask to table this until our next meeting.
I'll move we table.
Motion's been made. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So then we move on to ordinance 2024-0-15, updating the fire and blasting ordinances. And we got the fire department here for this. This is exciting.
We'll get a motion first.
Yeah, someone make a motion. Motion's been made to approve. So, this was something that came to my attention about a little over a year ago because there were some prairie burns happening in the city, and our burning ordinance was crazy, just crazy. Like, it was actually legal in the urban service area to put out a barrel and start burning stuff in a barrel. And a lot of that stuff was just leftover stuff from the township days, but There's now been a rather extensive rewrite of this. So we are, I don't think this is worded correctly though, because this is basically replacing the entirety of Chapter 70, right?
Without, yeah, go ahead. I'm Mark, by the way.
Yes.
Without replacing it, what we tried to do was work within Chapter 70 to amend the sections. So there's replacement of several of the sections as opposed to what the existing ordinance was. 70-57 is, in particular, is completely rewritten.
Yeah.
But it doesn't replace the entire article.
Okay, so some of Chapter 70 is still here.
So sections 70-57 through 70-61.
So right now, under this new ordinance, how's it going to work if somebody wants to do a prairie burn?
So one of the things
on private property, I should specify.
Sure. One of the things that the original ordinance did not, or the existing ordinance, I should say, did not address was a definition of what is open burning versus what is prescribed burning. This rewrite of the ordinance identifies both. It also identifies a process for those prescribed burns that do need to occur within the urban service area. So an example might be several years ago, prairie planting was the environmental sort of landscaping method of choice. Well, if you're actually doing prairie plantings correctly, they need to be burned, right? That should be recognized, but also recognized within a set of boundaries and a set of rules.
Jay, I'll give you a good example, and thank you for this rewrite. It was last year, I believe. One of my neighbors, he has some neighbors that they're just nonsensical. They're not smart people, and they hadn't taken care of their backyard, and brush had grown up in there, and so the guys started hacking it down. And on a hot summer day, and I think it was during that when we had the smoke from Canada, he's out there burning green brush in his fire pit. And our police department came, and they mishandled the situation, but they said, "Oh, there's nothing in our ordinances that prevent us." Well, there was an ordinance, not ours, but DNR on burning on those days, that the officer didn't know it, but she really could have just got the hose and said, "We're putting it out, put your brush out on the curb." But now your ordinance has to be dry. You cannot be burning green brush, grass. So if this incident happened again, that neighbor, stop or you're ticketed. So I appreciate that, the clarity that's been provided to this now.
Yeah, if I may, I believe I met your neighbor last Thursday.
You told me. Not the easiest.
Among the things that the rewrite of the ordinance does address is the air quality index, as well as drought conditions as defined by the National Oceanic and NOAA. We're going to follow their guidelines, as well as our practice has been to follow the DNR guidelines on what is allowed statewide. So they're monitoring constantly. They update their website every morning at 9 a.m. We check that and we abide by that, as well as what are the weather conditions for the day? Is it conducive to allow open burning? Is it not? And we've adjusted our practices accordingly each morning during morning briefing.
Yeah, I know one of the big incident we had last year was there was somebody who was doing a prescribed burn right in a residential neighborhood, and the neighbors had no idea this was happening. And a couple of them were gone for the day, and they came home and found their houses filled with smoke because, they had left their windows open because it was a nice spring day in Wisconsin. And so I understand we're now requiring written notice within 300 feet, which was not in our ordinance before, so that's good. and that we got rid of the barrel burning, and we're also talking about the DNR restrictions. When I first started working on this about a year ago, a little over a year ago, and then I looked at Madison's ordinance, which is, oh my God, it's like 30 pages. And I thought, I don't know how to sort this out, so.
I think their ordinance, I'm not sure you could put out if the house was on fire, you could put it out.
And if I may, one of my counterparts out there in the county as far as fire departments is Ed Ruckriegel, who was the fire marshal of Madison when the Madison ordinance was written. You may or may not know, I came from a different community in Dane County. My departure from that department opened up a spot for Ed to step in. So Ed and I have worked collaboratively on this language. So this type of language, and very close to it, will also be brought for adoption in the city of Sun Prairie. Because that's an accomplishment that I never got a chance to make while I was there. And Ed recognizes that it's still something that needs to be done. So he and I worked very closely together on this.
Excellent. Well, I mean, I looked through this last week, and I thought that it looked good and addressed a lot of the things that neighbors were concerned about. And, you know, is it perfect? Probably not, but we can always add things or take away things later as it comes up. But this is definitely something that's needed, and it's a start from the disaster of an ordinance we had before. So thank you for taking the time to get this done. It really looks good.
I was proud to do it. I think if this ordinance update is adopted, excuse me, I think it will serve the city well. I think you're right. I think that we'll probably find areas down the road where we may want to change, but I think this is a heck of a good start.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for getting it done. So any other discussion on this? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Then we will move on to
Thank you, guys.
announcements. Our next meeting is on June 11th. And that brings us up to...
I'll move adjournment.
Motion's been made. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.